Hi everybody, welcome back to GearGossip. Well, the last one that I did was about the SG box by Grossman Audio that I was so fond of that I actually bought it. But before I can say goodbye to the Palmer, I thought it might be a good idea to actually get a speaker or a set of speakers. And I decided to just go for the cheapos. First of all, the Jensen C12Q, tight bass, aggressive mids, and a lot of treble, bite and chime and whatsoever. Bought it because of this description and the info I found on the internet, and because it's about $50. Those thingies that are hanging around on these speakers are for quick exchange in the box. The next speaker that I got was the Eminence Legend 1218, 150 watts rating, very heavy, and also bought only on information on the internet. Warm, fat, friendly, even response, blah blah blah. So my standard speaker, maybe. And then I was looking for something with more scooped sound, lots of treble, tight bass for the more metalish tones. Just the idea that I had. And I came up with a Jensen Chicago Series 1270 rated 75 watts. In America, I think it's the Mod series. Same speaker, different name. And then I did a list of, short samples just to compare them. When you're playing a speaker and then another speaker, you get accustomed to the sound that quickly that you can't remember the difference. At least I can't. So I recorded it first and then I listened to what I was hearing and then decided if I like or not. One of the problems that I was running into was the microphone. I'm using a C1000S. Why? Because it's the only microphone that I have for that application. Trouble, it's extremely loud when this amp is at 18 watts that I cannot use my microphone preamp. It's just too much input and there's no pad on it. So I cut down the Mesa Boogie to half power, which means these speakers are getting 7 watts. We are listening to the first sample that I called Clean Fat, and this is the example. I'm not really sure if I can tell the difference. And then I set up a hollow sound, almost no mids. Looks like the Mod series is a little bit better for these hollow things, but I like them all three. So not that of a big difference, really. And then I set up something with, let's say, no bass at all. Just as trebly and jangly as I can get with this amp and the semi-acoustic. Now you're starting to hear the difference. The ceramic, this C12Q, really has this aggressive mids that are described. The Mod is a little bit hollow, and I still think I like the Legend. Now for fat sounds, this is something that my amp really does pretty good. As expected, the C12Q is a little bit better for this particular song. And the 1270 starts to sound a little bit like out of phase, which is not possible with one speaker. This is what I call a mid-crunch sound. What? Let's just go for a scooped sound. Maybe then the mod is a bit better. The 1270 gets some sort of growl or a throaty sound on the bass strings. No bad sound. All three are usable. Now for something very fat. The more gain you get, the more difference you hear. My preference is, I think, the cheapo Jensen, but for this sound, the mod series wasn't that bad. And now for as much gain as this amp gets, and all mids. Did you hear that, the last note? That almost made this thing sound like a Marshall. 3 different speakers, and I like all of them. Adding a lot of versatility. I think I will stick to the Legend and keep the other 2 for more specific sounds. If I like jangly sounds, go Beatles, the Birds, or whatever, I will go for the Jensen C12Q. And if I want to be a really bad guy and go chuka chuka, I might go for the mod. I think I'm not there yet. I still have to fool around with some of these variables that you get with speakers and microphones and caps. First, break in the speakers. These are brand new, and I think I noticed some sort of fizziness that might go away after breaking them in. Second, find a better microphone for this, just to get more power to the speaker. Now 7 watts is maybe not the best idea. 18, 20 watts that usually come out of this amp would be sufficient, but maybe somebody can lend me a 100 watt head. And by the way, Merry Christmas. See you!